Lesson 5.1. We're talking about identities here. And so when we talk identities, what we mean is that some trig function is equal to another trig function. We can either simplify it or do something like that. And so remember earlier we started this school year, or this semester really, saying that psi y cos x tangent is y over x. You've heard me say that a lot, but now let's talk about reciprocals. What reciprocal means is that you flip the fraction. So sine is the same thing as sine divided by 1. I think we could all agree with that. We understand that. That's something we're basically used to. Cosine is 1 over cosine. Well, what happens if you take the reciprocal and what identity is it equal to? We'll find out is that sine is exactly the same thing as 1 over cosecant. CSC is cosecant. What that means is these are reciprocals of one another. So is sine theta equal to CSC theta? Answer, no. This is not true. They're not equal to each other. What they are is the reciprocals of one another. So this would now be true. So I would have to erase this symbol right here and say that this is now true. Or I could change this and say that CSC is 1 over sine. So either way, you can reflip those. That's reciprocal identities. Finally, over here, remember psi y cos x, tangent is y over x. So sine is your y value, and the h is always silent. Cosine is our x value, and again, our h is silent, and tangent is y over x. Now, what does that mean? If tangent's y over x, and sine is y and cos is x, then tangent is also equal to sine over cosine. Because sine is y and cosine is x. The h's would cancel each other out here. So that's what's going on the quotient identities. And cotangent is this reciprocal, which again means to flip. Cotangent is 1 over tangent. You just flip the values. All right? So let's take a look here. Example 1, A. It says if cosine theta is equal to 3 over 4, find CSC theta. Well, CSC theta, remember, is the same thing as that secant 1 over cosine theta. And if you're not sure, just go back and look or view the formula chart. Here I've opened up the formula chart, and you'll notice that on reciprocal identities, secant CSC theta is 1 over cosine theta. So I come back over here. Now that I see that they're reciprocals, what that means is you just flip it. Since they're reciprocals, that word reciprocal means to flip. So if CSC theta equals 3 over 4, excuse me, if cosine theta is 3 over 4, then that means secant theta, or CSC theta, is equal to 4 over 3. And so this would be my answer here. Okay, let's check out part B. It says secant x is 5 over 4, and tangent x is 3 over 8. Find sine of x. Okay, so now we got to think through this song. Psi y cos x, tangent is y over x. This means this is y and this is x. Now secant's not as easy because that's not a part of the song. The psi y cos x, tangent is y over x. But I do know that secant x, again the x and theta makes no difference, is the same thing as, check the formula chart, 1 over cosine. So secant, here it is 1 over cosine, which means if secant x is 5 over 4, what that means for us is that cosine would be 4 over 5, because you flip it. You take the reciprocal. So if cosine is 4 over 5, that means this is my x, this is my h. Now let's see if it lines up over here. We're saying that x is 4, h is 5, y is 3, x is 8. Uh-oh. Here I have an x of 4, this one I have an x of 8. To match these up, I need to multiply these both by 2 over 2, which is technically multiplying by 1, but I need to make my x's align with each other so that I can go back and forth. So if I multiply that out, I would get that cosine x is the same thing as 8 over 10. Notice that's the same fraction as 4 over 5. It's just not simplified. Now, do my x's match? Yes, they do. So this is my x, this is my h. I'm supposed to find sine x. Now, psi y cos x, tangent is y over x. If sine is y, then there's the silent letter. What is psi y? What's the silent letter? H. So this would be, what's my y value? 3. Sine x equals 3 over, my h is now 10. This would be my answer. If I could simplify, I would, but I cannot simplify on this problem. So that's my answer. Now I have one for you to try.